Hello everybody and welcome back to GreenRiver. So this is likely going to be the final episode of single player GreenRiver. However, next weekend I would love to bring back a brand new series of multiplayer GreenRiver. This would most likely be something that we do once or twice a week, most likely at the weekend, when the server is actually running. So yeah, this is the end, but not the end, if you know what I mean. We're going to have to wrap things up here, and then we'll sort of restart things again, but only as a team with 16 players, which should be absolutely amazing. This will actually enable us to also expand the farm even further. We'll keep the fields which we have, but most of the machinery will most likely be changed, as I have so many different mods running. So yeah, to be able to actually enable everybody to join, it will be easier with just a few mods. But I would like to put some mods on, because I don't tend to put mods on my server. And I think if it's on ModHub, meaning it's very easy to install, we will actually put some on. So yeah, what I'll do is when we do a multiplayer session, I'll put a link to all of the mods you need. Most likely on the YouTube community page, which I mentioned before. It's always the best way of doing it. So yeah, just keep an eye out there and I'll keep you up to date. Okay, so what we're going to do to conclude the single player series is we're going to harvest this field just here. But we're going to do it in a way where we can actually do more than just a bit of combine harvesting. We're going to do some pelleting. And the reason why I want to do pelleting is because this is probably going to be the final episode on GreenRiver with the straw harvest add-on. Because whenever I've tried to enable DLCs or anything you have to buy in the server before, there's always been a bit of an uproar with people who don't have the DLC saying, oh, well, that's not fair, I can't join. And I agree, it isn't that fair. Because I totally understand that some people either aren't in a position to buy the DLCs, or maybe they don't have the spare cash to be able to afford the DLC, which is perfectly understandable. So yes, I'll only be doing things which are included in the base game or free mods in the multiplayer servers, which means that yeah, the Straw Harvest DLC or Straw Harvest add-on we have to do now. So I'm going to just get started very, very quickly. Crying out loud. Oh, the PTOs. Joy. I think I only forget it on the combine harvester, not the tractors. There we go. Yeah, just pulling off the side of the road there. Obviously we're going to get this done in no time at all. I think I will fully harvest it first, because I could put the straw harvest machinery behind us, the pelleter, but chances are it would get a bit congested and maybe a bit too confused as well. I think, as we all know, especially if you watch my videos or use the add-on itself, the pelleter is fairly needy. It's always needing to be unloaded. So yeah, you've got to keep up with it. And if we're doing this, then we can't really pay too much attention to it. But anyway, yeah, this is barley. Crop of barley. I don't think I've done any barley pellets before. I would assume it just comes under straw pellets. It's just a generic straw type. So it should just work as it has done before. Now when we do the pellets, we're not actually going to go and take them to the packing factory. We're just going to sell them straight out of the trailer into the sell point, which I think is actually just over here somewhere, just across the field there. We'll have to confirm this, of course, but it's not too far to go. I should think, despite it being a fairly small field though, we are going to produce quite a lot of pellets. It seems to create a lot, so yeah, it's going to take a while to do. I'm just considering actually if we should go with the one which you have to fill up manually. At the moment we've got it all just automatic, so the molasses and everything is just always full, but we could make it a bit more interesting and more challenging by having to fill it up with all the requirements first. It would mean getting a different option for it, but I think it would be a bit more fun. Anyway, we'll just very quickly get this finished first of all, because this isn't really the main part of the video. It is the straw pellets. Yeah, we've all done combine harvesting before, I'm sure. So let's just finish this off. Okay, so that is the harvest done. Now for the more important bit, the pelleting. And I think I'm going to probably take the same approach as I did before. If you remember back from when I did the grass pellets in the actual field where the pallet hall is, I did basically the Follow Me mod, which was allowing the tractor and trailer to drive alongside, and it worked really effectively. Now first of all, I need to go and sell this just to get rid of it. The trailer needs to be freed up for the pellets. I just don't know how well it's going to work on a bend. We'll soon find out, I suppose, but yeah, you need to make sure that we don't turn too tightly. I've got to say though, when I did it in the grass field, it was working very well. So if I can get it to work just as well, then this is all going to go very smoothly. 24,500 litres, yeah, that is quite impressive. It's not a very big field. So we'll probably just take it to wherever the nearest sell point is to here. What is the nearest sell point? Probably Blacker Hall actually, near field 27. Now I can't really decide whether or not we should do a time-lapse for this. If I do, it's probably going to make the video really short, so I'm going to have to think of something interesting to talk about. I'll try and think of something which is fairly interesting to listen to. What about my life story? Nah, it's probably too complicated. Anyway, yeah, let's just get out of here. 70, is that all we get? 17,000? Oh well, good job we're not in it for the money here. I might actually just park up here, because we can take everything over to the field in one go using Follow Me. So where is the... oh, compost. Let's just try... oh, that's a good tractor to use actually. It does take quite a bit of power. The door is shut. Gonna have to get that opened. I would guess I've put the pellets around the back. It's just such a good place for it. Drive over to our yard, which we created. It will be a shame to see this go actually. I do like this area. Yep, there it is. And as mentioned before, I'm really expecting to be making a lot of pellets out of this. Even the smallest of fields can still produce a lot of straw pellets or hay pellets. We'll connect the PTO when we get there. We'll make sure the lorry does follow us, and then we'll begin. Here it is, it's joined the convoy, if you can even call it that. No, you can't. But yeah, with it being such a large trailer, I'm hoping we're not going to have to unload it too often. This thing is actually the thing which is going to fill up super fast. It's going to be continually unloading if this doesn't work out. That's what I'm really hoping it is going to. I don't think we will fill the trailer. As I did say, we do get a lot out of it, but that is a huge trailer. It's something like 80,000 litres or something. Something gargantuan. I'm trying to think of different words as well for huge, because everything I do seems to be on a big scale. I can't just keep saying it's big or it's huge or something. So, yeah, mammoth, gigantic, gargantuan, titanic. Yeah, that's a good one. Which side do we need to go on? Hang on, wait. Other side. I thought there was something wrong. In which case it might be best to go the other way around the field. There is a street light directly behind me. That worked out well. There we go. Although I might actually just set it back just to begin with, just so I can try and figure out the best control. Oh, that's probably not the best control. We'll try that to begin with. Although it's a bit optimistic. It's pushing us. Come on. It needs to be set a bit further over. In fact, I'm going to go off screen and do it. Is that alright? I think it just needs to go a little bit further over, because it is trying to lift up this machine. I reckon if it's just a bit further over, it won't do that. I might put it to 5 and we'll see what 5 does. If it's alright, then obviously we can keep going. It's just a bit of fine tuning that's required. See, is that too far away now? Nope, that seems to be working. It's obviously looking like it's on the edge, but it is all going in. Fantastic. So it begins. Let's see what we can actually do here. Straw pellets. We're currently sitting at 3% in the trailer, so I would say it's going to be close, but we should get it all in. It doesn't matter if we don't. I'm not really too bothered if we have to go and unload. In a way, it's a good thing. but yeah, it just makes things easier if we can get it into the one trailer. So I've thought of something to talk about. I know, I've done well. It's surprisingly tricky to think of something interesting to talk about. In fact, this might not even be interesting to some people, but the topic is Daggerwin Extra. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to venture too far out of my comfort zone. Yeah, Daggerwin Extra. It's a channel where I basically just put anything which I want on there, if you know what I mean. Just, you know, anything. Not necessarily something random, but really anything which doesn't really belong on the main channel. The main channel really is just simulation games. That's what it's turned out to be. It started off being RC Monday. In fact, I even put a restoration video on here. The Cantex D1850 is still on this channel, amazingly, and it still looks weird to me to this day when I see it pop up, because it still comes up in my recommended videos for some reason. But yeah, it does, and that's kind of weird. That could be working better. Yeah, so the Daggerwin channel is just simulation games. Daggerwin Extra is going to be real life stuff, but there will be some games in there, I'd have thought. Anything which just doesn't belong here. The other thing is, whenever I do a video on the piece of land which you see in my Daggerwin Extra videos, I always get people saying, is that your land, or do you rent it, or is it just some random person's land which you've got onto? Well, no, it is my land, which I can safely say. I would never go onto somebody else's land and start doing videos. That would be kind of weird and fairly risky. It's not rented, no. Renting's good, but as I even say in Farming Simulator, it's only good short term. It's a great way of having something good for a fairly cheap price, but there's no resale value at the end of it. So yeah, it is my piece of land which I'm going to keep doing videos on, and we're going to keep doing some different videos in the summertime. That's my plan. I'd like to do quite a lot of different videos if I can do. It's going to just depend on the amount of time I've got, because I don't have all the time in the world. I wish I did, but I don't. I just about have enough time to play Farming Simulator. We're filling up. Yeah, it's still unloading. That's good. The other question which I got asked quite a bit was, how big is the piece of land? Which is actually a very good question, and I don't know exactly. I think it's about 5 acres. It's roughly 5 acres, which is plenty for me. I absolutely love it. I really do. Now, it may not be a 500-acre farm, but honestly, I'm not a farmer, and, well, I could never afford a 500-acre farm. In fact, it was almost impossible to be able to afford a 5-acre piece of land. Yeah, it doesn't come cheaply, but the way I'm looking at it is, it's obviously lovely to be able to have a piece of land like that, because you can improve the environment with it, as I have done with trees. I can also entertain other people by creating videos, and obviously you can see how it establishes with the trees and all that kind of stuff. And it's you know, it's just a nice feeling to be able to own just a piece of the earth. It's not much, but it's a piece. It's a very nice piece. But yeah, there you go. I just thought I'd say it, because otherwise I'm going to be replying to so many people. I also get loads of comments about the compact tractors, which I'll just very quickly touch on. For example, I get people saying, I love your compact tractor, which is nice. I get people saying, how much did it cost? I get people saying, Daggerwin, you're an idiot because you don't need a compact tractor. I get some people saying, you're trying to be a farmer but you'll never be one and stuff. They're the kind of comments that go over my head, because I will explain to you now why I actually do have 2 compact tractors. Now, the primary reason is really because they are just so handy. They can do so many different things, and they must not be underestimated. The reason for this is because they can actually do things which full-size tractors can't, or can't do as well. A very good example of this actually is, there's a small piece of land which I also cut, which is not my land, I just do it for somebody, and it's, I don't know what it is, it's like 3 acres or something. The way it's laid out, it would be incredibly difficult for a full-size tractor to actually cut it. It's just grass, it doesn't have any animals on it. Like there's a lot of fence posts which are so awkwardly arranged that you would be forever reversing and backing up and turning around in such a small area with a full-size tractor that it would take such a long time to do. Whereas with the compact tractor, you can actually go through them. It's just about wide, but just about narrow enough to go through these posts, which means that the combat tractor would most likely do it faster despite being smaller. Now this is not me trying to say that compact tractors are better than big tractors, because without the big tractors agriculture would not be on the scale that it is now. It would be impossible. A big tractor probably can do more still, but a small tractor, compact tractor, can still do stuff which a big one can't. I just thought I'd say that because it is quite interesting when you actually look at it. If you can actually see an example, it is fairly remarkable how one can be better than the other despite being smaller and much less powerful. But anyway, yeah, going back to the topic about it, the reason why I have the combat tractors is obviously to cut the land, and also if anybody else needs me to do anything for them, I can do. That's the long and short of it. So let me just lift up here. Yeah, the comments about stuff like being wannabe farmer and all that kind of stuff, I think it's just people trying to wind me up. I think it is, because I mean, anybody could be a farmer if they wanted to be. If their dream was to be a farmer, they could be. But I'm basically very happy with the work I do in real life, which I probably won't go into. And also, yeah, my love of YouTube, playing Farming Simulator and stuff. As for how much the compact tractor cost, I won't go into it, but the Kubota was actually part exchanged, so that did help fund it. But yeah, I've got plenty more videos to come up in the future on the compact tractors, which I look forward to doing. In fact, there's one very soon, so stay tuned to Darwin Extra for that. Yeah, so we've almost finished. We need to go back down to the other side in a minute. You'll see there's a few pieces which have been missed. I'll try and get as much as I can do. We are 70% full in the trailer, so pretty good. Nothing which is going to be overflowing the trailer, but it's still not a bad amount to have. When you convert that to litres, I would think it's around 60,000 or so. Something very impressive. And here we are, just finishing off. I need to check and see where the best sell point is, the best price. There might only be one actually. Just put all of those into there. Good. Just stop the worker. That's done. Don't crash into the trailer. Jump into the lorry, and yeah, let's just see here. I wouldn't expect there to be many places. So it's this one. Wait, this one here. Two places, All Green Energy and the barn. The barn is the best one at the moment. The barn being next to Drewton's. So fairly close. 53,000 litres. Maybe the capacity is 60,000, not too sure. But overall, 53,000 litres of straw pellets. That is not bad at all. Especially when you look at the size of the field. And this is going to produce so much more money than if it was straw bales. And easier to work with. This is one of those places we may have to reverse into. Yep, especially with it being such a gigantic trailer. Very long trailer. It is the barn that we're going to, so it's where these straw bales are. Might seem like an odd place to take it to, but when you think about it, it is straw. I've crashed into a street light again. I do this many times. Okay, there we go. And it should start to sell somewhere here. Watch this money. I think we're on 181, and it's going to be quite a chunk. There we go. £69,000. That is not bad at all. I could not complain at that. So we're going to leave it there. That is the end of the single player series on GreenRiver, but I'm hoping we are going to be returning next week for some more GreenRiver on multiplayer. Okay, thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.